Welcome. By now, you would have taken some time and gone through the syllabus for the CAPE Information Technology. This is our orientation session to Unit 1 because the CAPE IT program is a two-unit program, Unit 1 and Unit 2. This course that you're taking is Unit 1. I want to welcome you, and of course, I want to say to you, congratulations on taking this step to improve yourself and, of course, to add to your skills. I also want to say thanks for expressing confidence in me because, of course, you could have chosen to attend class with any number of individuals. So, your choosing to take this course with me suggests that you have some level of confidence in me. And I want to thank you for allowing me to help you on this journey to achieving your academic goals. In the introductions, I've pretty much given you a brief synopsis of who I am. For, for our purposes, I'm just going to share with you. In summary, I'm Alston Strawn. I'm currently the Science and Technology Coordinator in the Curriculum Development Unit of the Ministry of Education, and that's where I've been for the last 7 years. That's from September of 2011. I began my teaching career way back in 1995 by teaching physics, integrated science, agricultural science, mathematics, and technical drawing. I'm a trained teacher. My training specialty was dealing with secondary science and mathematics. I've taught mathematics and information technology at the high school level. I've completed my undergraduate work in physics and information technology and continue teaching IT and math, both at the secondary level, and I've done university as in the UE level 1 computer programming courses for several years. And I've also been working with CXC as one of the what we call markers. The official term is an assistant examiner for the last, well over 5 years actually. And more recently, I've completed my master's in instructional design and technology. So that's essentially who I am, and I'm delighted to be able to be your lecturer, your tutor, your guide in this CAPE Information Technology Unit 1 course. Now, some matters of in-house or housekeeping, so to speak. There's the issue of our contract. Uh, and essentially, they're just a few rules I have. Life happens, and that often prevents us from being able to meet our commitments. But I would want to implore you that when life does happen, just be sure to communicate it. So keep the lines of communication open. You know how to contact me. The contact section on our learning platform does provide communication information. So you have numbers and email address and an email address that you can reach me at. So be free to use that. Now I'm committing to deliver to you a quality instruction in an environment that's both supportive, challenging, and respectful. I'm also committing to providing you with adequate instruction so that I can build your competence and confidence in IT. I am committing to do all of this and operating what I will call a very professional manner. That's commitment. Now, I know you've taken some time and you've looked at the information technology syllabus. For this orientation session, we're going to look at the rationale, we're going to look at what is being examined, the format of the exam, and the topics to be covered. The rationale for any subject is really important because for me it sets the platform for giving you the context and giving you a general sense as to why you need to or are taking this particular subject. Now, I won't go through all of this with you because I know you would have spent some time reading it. If you haven't, take a moment, go back there and read it because it really highlights why we're doing CAPE IT Unit 1, and it also sets everything that the course sets out for us to do into perspective. Now, the reality is, information technology is so pervasive, it's all around us, and there's so many technologies that are emerging. And really, I want you to focus and realize that this particular sentence, the increased integration of computer and telecommunications technology has led to an increased globalization of the world economy. Now, that's a mouthful. It almost sounds cliche, but the reality is information technology and all its um, related technologies have really made our world one small village. And it's whereas previously may have been unheard of to do business with a Chinese company or a company in South Africa or having a client in Canada, that's not far fetched anymore. So we have what we call this world economy, and IT is playing a critical role in that. Now, with that in mind, Cape IT syllabus was developed. And quite naturally, you'd recognize that in order for the Caribbean on a whole, and I'm going to make it very specific, and in order for you and I to be able to participate and contribute to this new world economy, so to speak, it's really important that we as a people become familiar with what those technologies are. And our knowledge should go beyond just a mere ability to recall those technologies, but really have a deep sense of understanding how to use them and how those technologies have been impacting society. So that really sets the precedence now for how we approach everything within the syllabus. So that's the rationale. What's been examined? For the CAPE IT, you examined on knowledge and comprehension. There are really six cognitive skills, so to speak. Knowledge and comprehension, which really is your ability to recall and grasp the meaning of basic facts and concepts, and then being able to identify real life problems for which IT provides solutions and are beneficial to us. Then you'll be assessed on application and analysis. Now, this really is your ability to now take those facts, that knowledge you have, and being able to really apply it to unfamiliar situations. It also entails being able to identify and recognize the relationships between various components of information technology and how they impact on society. The analysis really goes to or speaks to recognizing the limitations and assumptions of data gathered in an attempt to solve a particular problem. So you're recognizing the higher order skills and at the very top, the highest level cognitive skills really synthesis and evaluation. And this speaks to your ability now to make some reasoned judgments. I want you to recognize that on the surface, at the very basic level, is the knowledge. Anybody could recite facts about information technology, but I want you to recognize that this program is not just about that knowledge and understanding. It takes it further to being able to apply the knowledge to new situations, unfamiliar situations, solving real problems, and even going beyond that, being able to make some reasoned judgments and recommendations. And you're going to see throughout the course how we lead, how we build up into that. So we'll start at the very basic level with the knowledge, and then we look at how we can apply that knowledge to solving real life problems. And then we end off with being able to make reasoned judgments, make recommendations, use the computer and computer based tools to solve problems, and then, of course, ultimately to be able to justify and apply appropriate techniques to the principles of problem solving. That being said, we understand now the skills, the format of the exam. You have both an external assessment component and an internal assessment. We're going to talk about the external assessment. You'd notice that the weighting for the final external assessment is 80%. The internal assessment, which I could tell you now is what we call the school-based assessment. Previously it was called an IA or internal assessment, is worth 20%. The external assessment is the exam paper that you would get. You notice that there are two papers. Paper one, which is for an hour and a half, entails or has 45 multiple choice items with 15 from each of the modules, and we're going to explain what these modules are. That's what 30% of your overall mark. Then there's a paper two, which is for 2.5 hours, and it will consist of 6 questions. Notice you're going to see 9 here, but within the last few years, the syllabus itself has not been revised, but there was an edit in that the chief examiner for IT has looked at a better approach to structuring the paper rather than having 9 questions of varying lengths to have 6 questions of equal length. And we're going so multiple choice, as I indicated, 45 items, 15 from each of the 3 modules, and they are going to be each worth 1 mark. The paper 2 now is going to have 3 sections, and they're going to consist of 6 questions, 2 on each of the modules, and each of those questions will be worth 25 marks. Previously, the one question could be worth 10, another 15, but now it's sort of standardized that every question would be worth 25 marks. The question types really are going to the question really are going to present a scenario or a situation, and it will have several sub questions, and you're going to be required to answer each of those. And those could range from either a simple sentence, 1 sentence response, to maybe up to 2 paragraphs thereabout. Then we come to your school-based assessment, or what we call the internal assessment component. Is what 20% of your mark. So yes, there is an SBA for this course, and you notice it's called paper 3, and the aim really is for you to develop an appreciation for the use of the problem solving process. So essentially what it is that you're going to be identifying a problem in your environment, examining it, and looking at how information technology can be used to create a solution to that particular problem. So, the topics broadly for Unit 1, which is Information Technology Theory. There are 3 modules. Module 1 deals with the fundamentals of information technology. Module 2 will deal with information technology systems, and the Module 3 will cover information and problem solving. That's it for orientation. I'll see you again when we deal with Lesson 1.